Welcome back, magical theorists and lore enthusiasts. Today, we're venturing into one of the most enigmatic and chilling mysteries in the entire wizarding world. We're talking about the Veil of Death, that ancient, haunting archway that stands in the depths of the Department of Mysteries. So dim the lights, because we're about to explore what may be the most terrifying magical artifact ever encountered in the Harry Potter universe. Before we dive into the veil itself, we need to understand where this mysterious object resides. Deep beneath the Ministry of Magic, on level 9, lies the Department of Mysteries, a place where the most dangerous and incomprehensible magical phenomena are studied by unspeakables. The department isn't just any workplace. It's a labyrinth of rooms, each containing mysteries that push the boundaries of magical understanding. We have the Time Room with its collection of time turners, the Prophecy Hall with its thousands of glowing orbs, the Space Chamber, the Love Room, and most ominously, the Death Chamber. The Death Chamber. Even the name sends chills down your spine, doesn't it? This is where the Ministry houses what may be their most dangerous artifact, the Veil of Death. But what exactly is this thing, and why does it exist in the first place? Our first, and most significant, encounter with the Veil comes during the climactic battle at the Ministry of Magic in Harry's 5th year. It's June 1996, and Harry, along with Hermione, Ron, Neville, Ginny, and Luna, has rushed to the Department of Mysteries to save Sirius Black from what they believe is Voldemort's trap. Picture this. They burst through the door into the Death Chamber, and there it stands, an ancient stone archway, crumbling and unsupported, with a tattered black curtain or veil hanging from it. The veil flutters softly, despite there being no wind, and here's where it gets truly unsettling. Harry can hear voices coming from behind the veil, whispers, murmurs, the voices of the dead calling to him. Luna can hear them too, but Hermione and Ron, they hear nothing but the veil's gentle fluttering. This detail is crucial, and we'll come back to it. But first, let's talk about what happens next, because it's one of the most heartbreaking moments in the entire series. During the battle with Death Eaters, Sirius Black arrives with other Order members to help. He's dueling his own cousin Bellatrix Lestrange, when the unthinkable happens. Bellatrix hits Sirius with a stunning spell. Not a killing curse, just a stunner. But here's the tragic part. Sirius falls backward, still alive, still conscious, with a look of mingled fear and surprise on his face. He falls through the Veil of Death, and just like that, he's gone. Not dead in the traditional sense, but gone. Vanished, lost to whatever lies beyond that ancient archway. Lupin has to physically restrain Harry from going after Sirius. There's nothing you can do, Harry, nothing. He's gone, Lupin tells him. And those words carry a weight that's almost unbearable. Not he's dead, he's gone, because the veil doesn't kill. It takes. But what does it take them to? That's the question that haunts us. The Veil of Death isn't some modern magical creation. This thing is ancient, older than the Ministry itself, older than most of the magical artifacts we encounter in the series. When the Ministry was built, they constructed the Department of Mysteries around existing magical phenomena, and the Veil was one of them. The Department of Mysteries didn't create the Veil. They found it, they study it, they try to understand it. But after centuries of research, even the unspeakables can't fully comprehend what it is or how it works. What we do know is that it's a one-way passage. Once someone passes through the veil, they cannot return. There are no recorded instances of anyone ever coming back from beyond the veil. It's a threshold that once crossed becomes permanent. Think about that. In a world where we have time turners, resurrection stones, and horcruxes, magical objects that can manipulate time and death, the veil of death remains absolutely final. That tells us something profound about its nature. Let's return to one of the most intriguing aspects of the veil, the voices. During that fateful night at the ministry, Harry hears voices whispering behind the veil. Luna Lovegood hears them too. But Hermione, Ron, Neville, and Ginny hear nothing but the veil's movement. This isn't random. There's a pattern here that reveals something crucial about the veil's nature. Who can hear the voices? Harry Potter, someone who has been marked by death, who has survived the killing curse, who has a piece of Voldemort's soul attached to him. Luna Lovegood, someone who has witnessed death firsthand, who saw her mother die in a magical accident. The ability to hear the voices isn't about magical power or intelligence. Hermione, one of the most magically gifted witches of her generation, hears nothing. It's about proximity to death. It's about having crossed paths with mortality in a way that leaves you forever changed. This suggests that the veil exists at the boundary between life and death, and only those who have been touched by that boundary can perceive its true nature. Now, let's delve into what the veil actually is. The ministry calls it the veil of death, but that's more of a description than an explanation. Based on the canonical information we have, several theories emerge about its true nature and purpose. Theory 1. The veil is a naturally occurring magical phenomenon, a thin place where the boundary between the world of the living and the world of the dead becomes permeable. It's not an artifact created by wizards, but rather a cosmic crack in reality that has existed since ancient times. Theory 2. The veil is an ancient magical construct, possibly created by the earliest wizards who sought to understand death itself. It could be a research tool that went too far, becoming something that couldn't be controlled or destroyed. Theory 3. The veil serves as a one-way portal to whatever afterlife exists in the wizarding world. The voices Harry and Luna hear could be the souls of the dead, calling from whatever realm they now inhabit. But here's what's particularly chilling about all these theories. They all point to the same conclusion. The veil is a gateway to something beyond our understanding. Something that even the most skilled magical researchers can't fully comprehend. To truly understand the veil's significance, we need to compare it to other death-related magic in the wizarding world. Let's look at the Resurrection Stone, one of the Deathly Hallows. The Resurrection Stone can bring back shades of the dead, not truly alive, but not entirely gone either. These shades are described as being neither ghost nor truly living. They're incomplete, lacking the fullness of life. And they suffer from being caught between worlds. Then we have ghosts, wizards who chose to remain as pale imitations of their living selves, rather than go on to whatever comes next. They're bound to the earthly realm, unable to fully experience either life or death. But the veil of death is different. It doesn't bring the dead back, and it doesn't trap souls in an in-between state. It takes the living and delivers them completely to whatever lies beyond. It's not about resurrection or remaining, it's about crossing over entirely. In a way, the veil represents what the wizarding world fears most: absolute finality, complete transition. No take-backs, no half-measures, no lingering connections to the living world. The fact that the Ministry of Magic houses the Veil of Death in their Department of Mysteries tells us something important about how the wizarding government views this artifact. They don't try to destroy it, they study it. They don't hide it away, they make it part of their most secretive research division. The Department of Mysteries is tasked with studying the most fundamental forces of magic: time, space, thought, love, and death. The veil represents their ongoing attempt to understand mortality itself. But here's the crucial point: they've never successfully explained it. Think about the implications. The Ministry, with all its resources and magical expertise, has had this artifact for decades, possibly centuries. They've studied it, catalogued it, probably conducted experiments on it. And yet, they still don't fully understand what it is or how it works. This suggests that the veil operates on principles that go beyond conventional magic. It's not just another magical artifact, it's something that touches on the fundamental nature of existence itself. Let's talk about how the Veil of Death affects Harry Potter personally. His experience with the veil is transformative in ways that go beyond just losing his godfather. Harry's attraction to the veil is immediate and powerful. He wants to walk through it, to join the voices he hears calling from beyond. This isn't just grief, it's a fundamental pull toward death that Harry has been experiencing throughout his life. Remember, Harry has been marked by death since infancy. He survived the killing curse, carries a piece of Voldemort's soul, and has always felt somewhat disconnected from normal life. The veil speaks to that part of him that has never fully belonged to the world of the living. But Hermione and Ron can't hear the voices. They can't understand why Harry would want to investigate the veil further. This creates a profound sense of isolation for Harry. He's experiencing something that his closest friends can't share or understand. In many ways, Harry's relationship with the veil foreshadows his ultimate journey in the series. He will eventually walk willingly toward death in the Forbidden Forest, choosing to sacrifice himself for the greater good. The veil represents that same choice, the willingness to cross over into the unknown. So, what really lies beyond the veil of death? This is the ultimate question, and honestly, we may never have a complete answer. But based on the canonical information we have, we can make some educated observations. The voices that Harry and Luna hear suggest that consciousness continues beyond the veil. The dead aren't simply gone, they exist in some form. In some place, beyond the archway. They can apparently perceive the living world to some extent, as they call out to those who can hear them. But here's what's particularly interesting. The voices aren't described as tormented or suffering. They're not screaming or crying out in anguish. They're whispering, murmuring, calling. This suggests that whatever lies beyond the veil isn't necessarily a place of torment. Compare this to the description of ghost existence, which is often described as a pale, cold imitation of life, or the fate of souls split by horcruxes, which exist in a state of supernatural suffering. The veil seems to offer something different, a complete transition rather than a trapped state. Perhaps the veil represents what Dumbledore describes as going on the next great adventure that awaits us all. It's not death as ending, but death as transformation, a crossing over to something we can't understand from our current perspective. The existence of the Veil of Death raises fascinating questions about Wizarding Society's relationship with mortality. In the Muggle world, death is seen as a natural part of life, inevitable and final. But in the Wizarding world, the boundaries are much more fluid. Wizards have ghosts, portraits that retain the memories and personalities of the dead, and magic that can bring back echoes of the deceased. Death isn't as final for wizards as it is for Muggles. And yet, the Veil of Death represents something that even wizards can't control or reverse. This creates a unique form of fear in the wizarding world. It's not just the fear of death, it's the fear of absolute finality. The veil represents the one form of death that can't be circumvented, negotiated with, or partially reversed. Think about how this affects characters like Voldemort, who splits his soul to avoid death, or wizards who choose to become ghosts rather than go on. The veil represents what they're all trying to avoid: complete transition beyond the known world. As we near the end of our deep dive, let's acknowledge the many questions about the veil of death that remain unanswered. These mysteries are part of what makes the veil so compelling and terrifying. Question 1. Can the veil be destroyed? The Ministry has had it for decades, possibly centuries. Have they ever tried to destroy it? If so, why did they fail? If not, what stopped them? Question 2. Are there other veils? Is this the only one in existence, or are there similar phenomena elsewhere in the world? The Department of Mysteries suggests there are other, unexplained magical phenomena. Could there be other gateways to the afterlife? Question 3. What happens to magical abilities beyond the veil? When Sirius passed through, did he retain his magical powers? Can he still transform into a dog? Or does crossing the veil strip away everything that made him a wizard? Question 4. Could someone theoretically destroy the veil from the other side? If consciousness continues beyond the veil, could the dead somehow influence or destroy the gateway that brought them there? These questions highlight just how much we don't know about the veil. It remains one of the most mysterious and unexplained elements in the entire Harry Potter universe. Beyond its literal function as a gateway to the afterlife, the Veil of Death carries deep symbolic meaning throughout the Harry Potter series. It represents several of the story's central themes in a single, powerful image. First, it represents the inevitability of death. Despite all the magic in the wizarding world, despite time-turners and horcruxes and resurrection stones, death remains the one constant. The veil embodies this truth. It's ancient, permanent, and beyond human control. Second, it represents the unknown. Harry's entire journey is about stepping into the unknown, facing challenges that no one can prepare him for. The veil is the ultimate unknown, a threshold beyond which no knowledge can prepare you. Third, it represents choice. Sirius didn't choose to pass through the veil. He was forced through by circumstances beyond his control. But, throughout the series, characters do make choices about how they face death. The veil reminds us that sometimes those choices are taken away from us. Finally, it represents the boundary between the known and unknowable. The wizarding world is full of magic that can be studied, understood, and mastered. But the veil exists at the edge of that understanding, representing mysteries that may never be solved. As we look at the Veil of Death in the context of the entire Harry Potter series, we can see how it foreshadows and informs the story's conclusion. Harry's experience with the veil prepares him for his ultimate confrontation with mortality. In the Forbidden Forest, Harry walks willingly toward what he believes is certain death. Like the veil, this is a threshold he must cross alone, without fully understanding what lies beyond. His friends can't follow him, just as they couldn't follow Sirius through the veil. But there's a crucial difference. Harry's journey through death isn't final. He's given a choice to return, to continue living. The Veil of Death offers no such choice. It's a one-way passage with no return ticket. This contrast highlights one of the series' central messages. Death is not the end, but it is a transformation. Harry's brief experience in the afterlife shows us that consciousness continues beyond physical death. but in a form we can't fully comprehend from our current perspective. The veil of death, terrifying as it is, ultimately supports this message. The voices Harry hears suggest that Sirius and others continue to exist beyond the veil, even if they can't return to the living world. Before we conclude, let's acknowledge some of the most interesting fan theories about the veil of death. While these go beyond canonical information, they demonstrate how deeply this mystery has captured the imagination of readers worldwide. One popular theory suggests that the veil is actually a punishment device, that it was created by ancient wizards as a form of execution. This would explain why the Ministry keeps it in their Department of Mysteries, rather than destroying it. Another theory proposes that the veil is connected to the Resurrection Stone and the other Deathly Hallows, that it's part of a larger magical system designed to explore the boundaries between life and death. A third theory suggests that the veil leads to the same place Harry visits during his near-death experience, a kind of cosmic railway station where souls can choose their next destination. These theories are fascinating, but it's important to remember that they're speculation. The canonical information we have about the veil is limited, and that limitation may be intentional. Some mysteries are meant to remain mysterious. So, where does this leave us? After exploring every canonical detail about the veil of death, we're left with more questions than answers. And perhaps that's exactly as it should be. The veil of death represents one of the most profound mysteries in the Harry Potter universe, a reminder that even in a world of magic, some things remain beyond our understanding. It's ancient, powerful, and absolutely final. It takes without giving back, and it offers no explanations for its existence or purpose. But maybe that's the point. Maybe the veil exists to remind us that mystery and wonder are essential parts of any magical world. Not everything can be explained, categorized, or controlled. Some things must remain unknowable, because the alternative would be a world without genuine mystery. The veil of death cost Harry his godfather, one of the few parental figures he had left. It represents loss, finality, and the painful truth that sometimes no amount of magic can bring back what we've lost. But it also represents continuity, the suggestion that existence doesn't end with physical death, but transforms into something we can't yet understand. In the end, the veil of death stands as a testament to the depths of J.K. Rowling's world-building. It's a single magical artifact that touches on themes of mortality, mystery, loss, and the unknown. It's terrifying and beautiful, ancient and immediate, simple and impossibly complex. What do you think lies beyond the veil of death? Do you believe Sirius Black found peace on the other side, or something else entirely? Have you ever wondered what you would hear if you stood before the veil yourself? The beauty of the veil of death is that it allows each of us to project our own understanding of mortality and the afterlife onto this mysterious artifact. It's a mirror that reflects our deepest fears and hopes about what comes after life. Thank you for joining me on this deep dive into one of the wizarding world's greatest mysteries. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed exploring the Veil of Death. Subscribe for more deep dives into magical mysteries, and hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest content. And if you love dark secrets and dragon drama, don't miss my Game of Thrones channel. Link in the description below. Until next time, remember, some mysteries are meant to remain unsolved, and some questions are more important than their answers. The Veil of Death teaches us that the unknown isn't something to fear, it's something to respect, to wonder about, and to approach with both courage and humility. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep believing in magic. See you in the next video.